Hi, my name is Normala Manap. I'm the director of Age Matters, which is a consultancy and training agency I set up a bit more than 2 years ago. I've been in aged care for a long time, for over 30 years in different capacity. Been in policy, been running aged care programs on the ground. And my last stint, I've taught gerontology at Temasek Poly, and in my last stint, I was working in the research center for aging. The program that I teach is called guided autobiography. By guided, I mean you're writing a life story in a small group setting with the help of a facilitator, Professor James Biren, who was the founder of the UCLA Center on Aging. He founded this particular approach of doing life story work almost 30, bit more than 30 years ago. And we brought him out here to Singapore, a number of years ago to train a group of master trainers in this methodology. So I was privileged enough to be one of the person who was trained in this method. But at the time, I couldn't run the program because I was busy working. So now that I've set up this consultancy and training company, I can do this. So that's the bit of a backdrop about what I do. In particular, I want to focus on the work with seniors, which is this life story workshop. So since I started the guided autobiography or life story workshops, I've been doing a few runs of it. So let me explain a little bit about guided autobiography. So as I mentioned before, it's a way of starting to write your life story, but people come every week in a small group setting. They've been given homework, they've been given some themes to write on with regards to their life story, and then they come, and the distinctive part about guided autobiography is when they come, they are broken into small group, and then they share these stories based on the themes that they write for the week with the small group of what we call their confidence circles. One of the most significant impact is the impact on the person's sense of self, their feeling of self-confidence after they've gone through the guided autobiography process. Although it's a starting point of writing their life history, that starting point is has an impact on how they feel, their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves, the sense of meaning of their own life and their life story. Okay, so that's very important. So that's one. Another thing is when you do, when you write or reflect on your life story, what comes up is you kind of reflect on how you've managed challenges that you have encountered through your life, right? So this reflection or this awareness or renewed awareness of how you've dealt with past challenges and issues actually will inform or give you, more like develop your understanding of the current challenges that you might be facing, the current challenges. Challenges and issues that you might be facing. Yeah. So this reflection of the past really help you with the current, challenges that we're facing. The third is, the honest thing is that we go through a lot of things in our life, things that, might be painful, things that we maybe at the time didn't want to look at and all that, So, we come to this later life, there may be still things, feelings, conflicts, pain inside us that we have not resolved. So actually, the life review process through this doing your autobiography will help, have been found to help in terms of coming to terms with all these things, that we've carried in us, past pains, past conflicts, past unresolved, sentiments. So it has been found to be useful in terms of resolving that and reconciling with that, and and then being able to move forward from a better place. Okay, so that's another reason. Another good reason. So the fourth good reason I'm counting because I want to remember everything. Yeah. So the fourth reason is a lot of the things that happen to us is we think it's because of decisions we've made, especially things that are not positive, negative things, mistakes that we make. We think that it's got to do with this, like bad decisions we made early on in our life. We don't realize that sometimes some of these decisions that we've made, actually, yes, we made a decision, but it could also be because of the conditions of the time, yeah, of the social situations at the time, of the things that were happening at that historical phase that we were in. I give you an example, okay? Like my own mom, for example, one of the, she didn't go through my workshop. She hasn't wanted to do my workshop also because I teach in English. I haven't had Malay workshop, plus she's not so literate. But one of the biggest regrets, up till now, my mom is about 85, going to 86, is the fact that, although she was very smart, she did not continue school. So at one stage when she was in primary 3, she was in a Malay school. She went to school, then her teacher say, "Oh, how come you still haven't paid fees? You're always late in paying fees." So she got upset and she left school. That's it. That was the end of her schooling, despite the fact that she was always acing, primary 1, primary 2, first semester of primary 2, so she was acing her class. So that was one of her deep regrets. Of course, the reason for the regret is because, it was a lifetime of poverty after that, because she, got full jobs and stuff like that. But what she didn't realize was when she was in primary 3, it was just after the World War. So everybody was in a difficult situation. Family didn't have money. And so, doesn't matter you're primary 3, primary 4, your first thing is, how are you going to have food on the table. So, she left school because she wanted to make money so that she can help her family, to survive. She was not the youngest, there were other younger siblings. So her decision was actually impacted by the social circumstances and the historical condition that she was in, what I'm trying to say is, by doing your life review and your life story, you may then you may understand then some of the decisions made, it's not because you made that choice, because you had to make the choice because of the historical social circumstance that you are in. I've got another good story about this. I can't forget, I will never forget this story, It was one of the participants in my workshop. She said that one of the, she's now she's in her late 60s, and she had a thriving career. Well, to us it's all thriving. But she said that actually it was not as thriving as it could have been. She always thought that, she could have made choices at a certain point in her career where, it would have taken her, like monumentally onto, CEO-ship of some major. She was an editor. I remember she said, she would have gone on to be working in one of the biggest publishing house. Then, we're talking about the 70s, right? But she did not. And when she said she came to class, so she was to share her story, and I remember this story because I felt that when she was sharing that, I felt this is exactly among some of the reasons why I decided to do this work with seniors, right? She said that when she was writing her story about a family, so we go through themes, right? One of the major themes is family. She was talking about the time she met her husband, and then another theme that you write about is about your career, your major life work. And so when she was writing about her career, she talked about this disappointment. Then she was writing about her family. She then put the two together and realized that actually the reason why she made that decision to change job, or not take on that job that would have catapulted her to some, major company, was because she decided to get married. She fell in love and decided to get married and start a family. And that was why she took a, lesser, I guess, prestigious, job. That was when she was doing her life story, that was when she realized that was the reason. And so she felt that, that kind of like was a light bulb moment for her, because all this time she thought she'd made a really bad decision in her life for not doing, taking on that major job. But after, when she was reviewing her life, she realized that no, that was a fantastic decision, because, the reason was because I chose a family, I chose a relationship and a family over career, and that was satisfying. So that was another story I wanted to show you about how, this work can really help you, see things that, maybe you didn't see, and you hold certain negative feelings in your heart, in your mind for a long, long time. So that's another impact in terms of personal development and growth of doing guided autobiography work. One last thing about the guided autobiography method of doing your life story as well is through the sharing, we also develop a very deep understanding of our shared humanity. We realize when other people share their story that what we go through, we're not alone. And that's very powerful, because a lot of the time we think that, the fault is ours, the weakness is ours, how come we can't be a better person, you've heard this often quoted sentiments, that we are our own worst enemy. So doing this workshop, where people share their stories, we realize that, other people go through the same, may have gone through the same experience. Maybe not exactly the same things happen to them, but, how they had felt, how they had felt, and how it has affected them, or how it has made them make certain choices, that may not be the right choices, also happen to other people. So we realize that, we're not alone. So that's very comforting. That's very reassuring to know that other people might have gone through the same, difficulties and challenges as you. But the other thing also, you come out of this session just having a little bit more compassion, a little bit more understanding, a little bit more sense of togetherness with other people. And I think that's very powerful, and I might add that, particularly helpful in this current times where so many in the world is going through a hard time. So those are some of the, very evidence-based impact of doing guided autobiography. So I hope you join me in one of my sessions. Thank you.